Welcome back, folks, to Out of the Box here at Oasis Community Kitchen. I am your host and chef, Ron Harper. Today, we got a new guest for our 4th episode. I'm bringing the ladies in. The ladies are taking control of the kitchen now. We have a guest. Her name is Tokey from Tokey Treats. Come on in. How are you today?
I am amazing. First of all, we've always been in control of the kitchen.
I'm just saying, we had all gas chefs so far.
I get it.
I wanted to get a lady's perspective and point of view in the kitchen, because
I get it.
the industry is doing great things. The ladies in the industry are pushing the industry right along, and they don't seem to get a lot of credit. So that's why, from here on out, I'm gonna try to push all the ladies in the kitchen to finish out the series.
I love it.
So, with that being said, Tokey, she is a up-and-coming chef in training. We have the chefs in training, we have the mid-range chefs, and we have the professional chefs. So we bring them all in for you guys, so you can get a perspective from all levels of chefhoodness, if that's a word. But Tokey, please let us know what you're going to do for us today.
Okay, so first I want to start off with just some mise en place of some of my ingredients, which just means getting everything ready to put inside the pot so that, everything is just set up right?
Okay.
So the first thing I want to do is we are going to roast this. First, I want to tell you what we're making. We're making a soup. It's roasted red peppers, roasted carrots, and tomatoes. It's just a nice, simple dish. So we're going to cut this into 4s. That's the first thing we're going to do. Take my guard off. So you want to cut off the head first. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there.
And she is vegetarian, so she is putting out some vegetarian food items for us.
You could always add a meat to it if you would like, but I don't eat meat. So you just take that out and I just twist it there. And I always save my ends for stock. That's another good thing to make. Actually, let's make it that big. That way and this way. And then you just put it on here on a little tray.
So you just put them on a tray? Did you oil your tray? Or
I oil up the tray here.
Or did you oil the product? Or both?
I do both.
Okay.
I like to get my hands messy. I think that's the baker side of me. So I'll do it like this, and I don't like a lot of dishes. So you just mix it up in there, and you get that nice and good. I'm sure a lot of people agree with me on that. And then once we get that together, what we're going to do is we're going to just put that right inside of the oven.
Yeah, making a mess on the fingers.
Yeah, just a little bit. Sorry. Oh,
all right.
All right, so the second thing we're going to do, we're pretty much going to repeat that step and get a tray. Or a teacher can.
So I don't know if I asked you this. Did you say this is going to be a cream soup or just a regular brothy parade soup?
Just a brothy parade soup.
Okay.
Really simple. And the thing I was thinking about when I got these ingredients was, let's include everyone. Let's include the kids in this, the babies, all of it. And the thing about carrots that I love so much is you can actually puree carrots and it can be baby food.
Yes.
Right? So all
Yes,
of this, there's so many benefits. And if you have a soup with a puree, and you have these great fresh or great ingredients, you can actually have the baby eat it as well, which is great.
So she come prepared. She knows what she's talking about. But at least she's acting like she does. We'll see.
We'll see. You gotta taste it. So you put a little bit of this on there. Now, if you want to season season that with salt and pepper, you can do it at this point. But I typically just wait because there's so much sweetness and natural flavors inside the carrots that I just want to leave it there. And then once it's inside of the broth and the soup, then I'll season everything together. You put that in there.
All right.
All right. So moving on, while that is in there, we didn't even use the whole bag of carrots, which is great. We are going to start with our onion, cutting up our onion, and our garlic, and putting it inside of the pot. So let's get out some onion. Do a small amount there. I want to start off with a little bit of the, do a little bit of this as well. some balsamic vinegar. I'm just adding that to a little bit of oil because I'm going to put that at the bottom of the pan just to get some flavors inside those onions and garlic as well. So we'll do a small, like a julienne.
Julienne cut?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're just going to make this for two. And the great thing, I live on my own, so all of my recipes are kind of small, right? So this one is for a family too, but you can always make it bigger and like expand it and make it for 6 or more people. Okay. This is just a smaller little dish that I have.
And there is enough in that box, I guess, for 6.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh man, there's so much stuff, and there's so many things that you can make with it. I had a hard time narrowing it down. So I like onions, so we're gonna start that in there. So look at those onions, and then we have some garlic. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna actually place those onions in there first to bring down the temperature. So let's go ahead and heat this up, start heating up the pot. So the pot here, we're gonna put it on low. Low temperature.
Heating up the pot.
Okay, and we're gonna put some of this on the bottom here. And we
so
don't
that's
want to get
balsamic and oil?
Yeah, and a little bit of oil.
Balsamic ain't gonna burn?
No. Nope, because we're going to, it's not gonna burn. That's why we're gonna do it on a lower.
Put a little bit more oil in there?
Yeah, just
okay.
A little bit more oil in there.
So what got you into to food?
Oh man, so my grandfather actually was a Navy chef. And I have always watched them. I never thought I was actually going to be a chef though. I always mess up cutting.
So what did you see yourself being?
I thought I was going to be, honestly, on my yearbook, I just looked at it the other day. My yearbook said I was going to be a model, and it was like the president of the United States or something. It was like some crazy stuff. Not crazy stuff, because anything is possible. But I actually fell in love with cooking, and
yeah, that's better. That's better anyway. You don't need to be the president.
I think it was better.
It's too much responsibility. You don't want to be the president.
I think it was better.
You're doing just fine.
But I love cooking. I actually started off, doing videography and photography work. I didn't know anything about cooking. You guys, this is like me actually teaching myself and learning how to do this. And I'm in school now at a wonderful place. There we go.
And just so you guys know, she's cooking, she's prepping, and then she runs behind the camera and takes her own food.
Yep. Yeah.
So she, like she said, she went to school for videography, so she's trying to do all this at once.
I didn't even know how many tablespoons was in a cup when I first started out a couple years ago. I had to teach myself how to do everything. And I met this woman who had just started cooking too. She said, nobody taught me how to do any of this. You know, I was supposed to just know it. And I was like, you're right. So we have to start teaching each other how to do things like this. So let's see how this is up. So we got it nice and warm in there.
Yeah, I think, yeah. Turn it up just a little bit more.
Just a tad.
There you go. Don't be scared of it.
I'm just worried that it's going to get too hot. So we're going to go ahead and put these onions, actually I think I have enough hand room, right inside of that pot. Let's test it out first. I like to make sure it's nice and hot, so not just quite.
I didn't hear the
I didn't hear the
from the last episode, you gotta hear the
I didn't hear the sound,
when
so
it
we
cooks.
can't put it in yet.
When it's ready,
you'll hear it. You'll know.
You'll hear that?
You'll know.
She made the right move. She made the right call.
So you don't want to put all that in there.
There it is.
So while we're waiting on that to get nice and hot, we do have the tomatoes. Now, you can roast the tomatoes as well. Just, or just put them in the oven for a little bit to get them kind of soft and then cut them. But I find that it's really hard to cut afterwards and really manage. So what I do is I just do it myself. Oh, sorry. So there's a pitting. You can pit it out, but I'm just gonna.
A core. Most people don't have them at home, but if you do happen to have one, you can core your tomato first.
Yeah, but it's okay. And we're gonna puree this, so that means that the cuts don't have to be perfect because it's okay. So sometimes, like, I'll have my older nieces and nephews sometimes just cut it up for me if I'm doing a soup, because it really doesn't matter how you cut it.
You said your nieces and nephews, they're older or younger?
Oh, young. Not older, but like, 12, 13.
Okay, do you allow them to use knives in the kitchen?
I do.
Have you showed them? Okay.
Yeah, I do. Not like this one. but I do. I think that if you teach a child how to do it and do it the right way, so they don't have, then they just do the right way. You have to teach them the right way to do things. Oh, I think it's ready. I think it might be. Let's try another one. Not quite. Turn it up just a bit.
I would just turn it up, and then when it gets to a point, let it
down.
get hot, and then if you want to turn it
I
down.
don't want that. For some reason. Okay, so now we're hitting the easier part, because now since we got all the ingredients together and they're all ready to go inside of the pot, all we have to do is add the seasonings and the broth, and we're going to let that simmer. And then once that simmers, and once we get these carrots and the red peppers out of the oven and we let that simmer, it's going to be a fabulous soup. It's going to be the best soup you've ever tasted in your life.
You guys know my favorite part of the show, right? I'm waiting.
It's going to be the best part. So let's check on this. What I did do in advance, you guys, and for Chef Ron, I actually made my roasted red peppers in advance. Oh, do you hear it? I don't know. I'm sure that you see it in there. It's bubbling. So let's add those in there now, those onions, and then we'll get through those roasted red peppers. Yeah, now it's too hot.
There we go.
Now we're getting it started.
There we go. There go that sizzle. There go that
Ooh, buddy. So we're going to bring down that temperature a little bit with those onions going in there. And we don't want to burn them. We just want to get them nice and translucent.
Balsamic onions. Can't wait till that garlic goes in.
Yeah, wait till that smell.
Smell fire.
Put some of that garlic in there at the bottom of your pot. Ooh, buddy. I love the smell of that. So we'll let that cook for like just another minute. Right, and then what I have already started is I already made the roasted red peppers. I kind of cheated in advance. So we have the roasted red peppers done, and we have the carrots already prepared for you guys. So we'll put the broth in. We'll let it kind of get it nice and hot. We'll add those vegetables in, let them simmer, cover the top up, and then really let all those seasonings that I'm going to put in there add to that.
I'm going to show you guys one more time what that looks like. The red peppers. See how they got that dark red color to them? Almost like a char look somewhat. Some of the char is off, but there's little pieces, remnants of the char on there. That's what the roasted red pepper should look like. And roasted carrots. Get that little char on the side of them. That roasted look, flavor. Oh man, all that stuff is good.
I'm gonna go ahead and add the tomatoes while you're going over that, because I want to get them all cooked in there with those flavors.
So basically that takes us a little bit of time in the oven, 450. I mean, you can go higher depending on how fast you want to roast it. The oil, I like to season mine a little, but like she said, she's going to add some flavors to the pot and then season it accordingly. But that's the look you want to get after roasting your vegetables.
So now we're going to add these vegetables because we want to get the flavor of that garlic and right in there with it. And then we're going to add some of those seasonings in there, and then the broth. Put that over there. It smells so good. All right, so my favorite part, the seasonings before we put in the broth. So you want to season it because this is going to be kind of like your base of everything. The broth is just for the liquid part to get it nice and soupy, right? So we want to add some flavor. So what I have here is some salt. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on there. I do add salt at the end as well. So we're going to add a little bit of salt in there, right? And we're going to add a little cumin.
Okay.
Cumin seed in there, gives it a little flavor. That's a lot. All right, then we have some basil here. And all of these ingredients, if you don't already have them inside of your cupboard, they are about $1, at most $1.50 for these little guys.
So basically under $20, you can make it happen. We probably have some change left over. But pretty much every meal that these chefs are making, you can pretty much get anything out from outside of the box to accompany the things inside the box for under $20.
Oh, yeah. Some pepper in there. And again, this is just to start it out because we're going to add some additional seasonings at the end before we taste it. And I'm adding a little bit of lime juice inside of it as well. And we're going to let that cook for a little bit. And then we're going to add that broth.
So while she lets that cook for a little while, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned, and we'll be back in a minute.
This segment has been brought to you by Oasis Community Kitchen. Created by Bible Center Church, Oasis Community Kitchen is a certified, shared-use commercial kitchen and event space located in the Pittsburgh neighborhood of Homewood. Our fully stocked commercial kitchen was designed with everything your small business needs to launch or scale and meets the guidelines for all your food processing requirements. For more information, please contact the operations manager, Ron Harper.
Welcome back, folks, to Out the Box with our special guest, Tokey from Tokey Treats. She is doing a vegetarian soup for us today, and she just informed me that she'll also be doing the vegetarian style bread today. But we're going to finish up with the soup. I'm going to let her get busy, let her explain to us what she's going to do with it next.
Yes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the soup that has been simmering, and we're going to turn off make sure that you turn off the stove, right? You do not want it to be on when you do this. All right, so we have a humongous blender, but you could really use any type of blender. A nice small little, what is it? The little turbo blender.
Cake mixer blender,
Yeah.
all that, just the blender. You're not going to use this at home unless you're doing some big catering. You got catering down in your basement, doing all that stuff. Other than that, you will not be using this big hand immersion.
Not at all. So this is like the mighty, I don't know, like the mighty one that I can barely hold up. But it's really strong. So if you hold that part there.
It's a beautiful thing. Just don't squirt me. Come on.
Wait, I'm trying to make sure I have my grip. This way.
So we want to start it while it's in the pot.
Yeah.
But
And we're pressing it here.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, there we go. Start it all the way down.
Down, yeah.
And we're going to just press it.
Just give me Attack of the Soup.
Oh no! This is the
man.
It's okay. We're going to do it again. Back up.
Yeah, I'm backing up. I'm going to back up this time. I think she got it. Look at speed. Hold on. Let me turn the speed down a little bit.
You guys, it's huge.
This is.
You should be proud of me. I'm canceling it over myself. Wait, it's not turning on anymore. Oh.
There you go. Hit the.
The hands are too small.
Yeah, I think I'm a step. I'm stepping all the way back.
I'm messy. No, I'm looking as messy.
I am splattered up.
So the soup is almost finished. We're going to do a couple more pulses and then we'll be all done because it looks fantastic, you guys. And we're getting those nice little chunks in there. If you see it on the camera, there's those nice little chunks, and that's kind of how I like my soup, a little chunky.
And if you have a food processor, you can also do it in the food processor.
Yes. So let's go
Which
ahead.
we could have used. Oh, my eye!
All right, so we are going to finish that. But if you look at it now, you see how the texture has changed, and you can blend it to the consistency that you want. So we have those nice chunks of the carrots in there. We have the tomato chunks in there still, and we have all those flavors nice and combined. Right?
You want it like that, or are you going to go a little bit more?
Well, I like it with a little bit of a chunkiness in it, right? So that you can actually taste those fruit. I don't eat a lot of the vegetables. I don't eat the meat. So like that texture, that big pieces actually helps me to feel like it's like meat inside of it, or it's heartier. So I actually like it like that. So we're gonna do.
Look
I
at
want you
got
to
stuff
see
all
it.
over your arms. Like,
It's
you
okay.
just-
I always get messy in the kitchen, you
She's
guys.
into her cooking.
But let me tell
Literally.
you. This is called passion. Okay. So there you go on that soup. Now, what I like to do when I'm at home is I like to still keep this a little hot because I do like dessert and food at the same time, especially for my dinner. So I like to sit down at the table and have my dessert there and my food there. So I'm eating it together. And then when I get up, I don't want dessert and I'm not grabbing for things because I've already had my sweets.
I got you. Ain't nothing like a big fat steak and a piece of chocolate brownie.
Exactly. So exactly. All together so you don't have to get up again and grab the brownie. I hate having food and then like, oh, I have to get that cake and I have to get up and grab it. So while we're letting that kind of just sit on the stove on warm, getting all those flavors in there, I'm going to start on this really quick bread that I put together, and we are going to, I have all the ingredients kind of already prepped, but I'm going to explain to you how I did each one. So let's go over these nuts that I have here. Now, these are a bunch of nuts that I found at home. So from almonds, we have some pecans in there, I think hazelnuts in there, and I just roasted them. And what that means is you're going to get a sheet tray and you're just going to put them on the sheet tray and let them go inside the oven for about 350 degrees for about 15 minutes until you see them nice and roasted, toasted brown, right? So that's the process for that one there. And I don't really store a bunch of those because they're actually a really good snack too when you're like snacking on anything as well.
So the recipe is not nut specific. Just like she said, there's multiple kinds of nuts in here. So you can put any nuts that you favor, that you like. Doesn't necessarily have to be one specific kind.
And see, I just like I said, I cook for myself. So sometimes I have to think of ways that are not expensive. Like sometimes the nuts are expensive and I'm buying a big bag of it and I only need maybe a little bit of it. I don't want to do that. So I was saying, to a friend of mine, I was saying that I actually have gotten a candy bar and just melted the nuts out of the candy bar and have that flavor of the candy bar in there.
Don't do that at home. Don't melt down candy bars. I mean, unless you really know what you got going on in the kitchen.
But you have fun, you know, when you're in the kitchen and you love what you do, you have fun. But this is real great because you have these ingredients that you can try out and really taste. So let's get to it, right? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do all of our dry ingredients first. So inside of this, we have a measuring cup, we have some flour, we have baking soda, baking powder, cinnamon inside of here. Now we have our sugar in here and we're going to add some of our oil, which we're doing about a half of a cup of oil in there. And we're going to do this cucumber. Now for the cucumber, actually I'm going to use this one here. We don't want to get rid of the water that's on here. We're going to need to cut this over. That's okay. I got it.
There you go.
We're going to do about anywhere from about a half a cup to a cup. And I don't really like getting rid of the water because I think that just adds to the flavor of everything. So we're just going to add that right in here. So we're going to do some nice strokes in there.
Season everything, huh?
Let's get it. You'll see it works out. You never want to waste anything.
I'm just asking. People at home like, there's the seeds in there?
Just
you take the seeds out?
I know. Don't do it.
Oh my goodness, put the seeds in.
It's okay.
No, it's good with cucumbers.
You won't even tell that they're in there. Right? And just like I said, if you want to take those seeds out, you can use them for something else. You don't necessarily have to throw away the seeds. All right, so we'll go ahead and shake that up.
Do you have, a mentor or somebody, a chef that you follow or somebody who's been kind of guiding you throughout your journey of being a chef, an influencer of sorts? Somebody that makes you want to strive to be the best at your trade.
I think they're not a chef, but there is. I have two really important mentors. One is Miss Carol Black, and she's awesome, and she owns this media company. But I love the way that she does business. I love how she handles herself, and she's just so creative in the way that she gets stuff done. And then my other mentor is my aunt, and both women are very powerful, first in their field, leaders. And when I saw that there wasn't a lot of black women in cooking, I was like, well, I have to do that.
Okay. All right.
I have to, because my mentors wouldn't let it be any other way. That's kind of
that's a perfect explanation.
All right, so the next thing that we're going to show you how to do is the eggs. Now, with vegetarian or a vegan, you're not going to have actual eggs that you're going to crack open and you're going to put in here. Now, with this recipe, you would use 6 eggs in this recipe. You can use eggs, but for me, since I am going to be making this and we're going to try it here, I'm going to actually make a vegan egg for you guys, or a vegetarian egg for you guys. There you go. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to do 6 tablespoons of water, a little less than 1/3 of a cup. And then you're going to get flaxseed, it's like brown flaxseed, which is great. And you're going to do about 2 tablespoons of that inside of your water.
Okay. Egg substitute.
And what it does is it gelatinizes. Oh my goodness, I said it. Yay. It gelatinizes. And we're going to just put it in just a little bit. It doesn't have to.
Explain that to the folks at home that don't know what that means.
It means that, okay, so the best way that I can explain it is like Jell-O. So it has the texture of Jell-O.
Okay.
Right? So you have that Jell-O-y type way.
It's like an egg white. You see your egg whites when you break it open your egg? It's somewhat like that.
Yes.
It's like a thicker jelly type substance to kind of pull stuff together.
Yes. Sorry. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to mix all this in together. The cucumber, the sugar, the oil, we're going to do that first. So we're going to go ahead
Gelatinous.
Gelatinous. I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to say that now. We're trying here. All right. Now, I'm a baker, so I like using my hands a lot. A lot, because I like to fill out what I am actually making. So it's nice and
Don't be out here saying, ooh, she uses her hand. The product is being cooked, so you're good.
So I use it because I can feel it and I know what's wrong with it. And it's definitely cooked in those bacteria. And plus you wash your hands whenever you cook. You don't just put your hands in your food.
Most bakers will tell you they like to use their hands.
Yeah, we like to use our hands.
They can feel the product. Me, I just like to use my hands in general.
It's called once it's a ready-to-eat food, once it's all heated up and done, you never want to use your hands. That's a no-go. So then we're going to add those dry ingredients into there, okay? So you're going to go ahead and put those in, and we're going to mix that up in there.
That's cinnamon. You can smell the cinnamon.
And I use some nutmeg sometime in here, and I really want to use my hands. It's okay.
Oh.
All right, I'm using my hands. Sorry. I didn't do it. Cooking is messy. Okay. I'm sorry. All right, so hands. We're going to use them.
Use the bowl, not over yourself or others in the kitchen.
I'm probably going to be that chef that I'm going to have a whole shift of cleaning up after my shift. I'm sorry, chef.
Shower with food.
I'm sorry.
Our next episode.
All right, so you want that sticky consistency, you guys, that when you pat it, it's kind of nice and sticky. And we're going to add those
the nuts?
Those nuts in there. Add about half of those in there. Keep going, keep going.
You want more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and mix that in there.
A little bit more than half.
A little more than half?
A little bit more than half.
We did good, we did good. Okay.
But you put in as many nuts as you want.
Really, you can.
Every bite.
That worked for me too. Now we're adding a little bit of a different ingredients to this one. We're adding a orange to it because in the box we got an orange, and I want to grate some orange in here. What do you think? I think it would work. I think it's going to taste amazing.
Cucumber orange. It's almost like infused water with nuts. Cucumber orange.
So we're going to just do a little bit of a zest on it, just to get a little flavor. See how it turns out. I don't think it's going to be bad though.
And this is being all held right here, so it is coming out.
Yeah, I see it. So we don't want much of it. So that's actually, we just want about half of that. Because we just want to give it a little teeny bit of the citrus in there.
So is this a dense bread?
Oh, what is
bread
it?
dense?
No.
Or is it light?
It's a light bread.
Okay.
It's a light bread. Okay. Now, I have this really cool little thing that I got Valentine's Day of like last year that I never was able to use. So I've been using it like all the time now. So I wanted to use this one.
She's showing her heart in the kitchen.
Well, wrong side. Okay, so we're gonna add some oil to the pan.
For those who don't have the pan spray, you can just use a towel, paper towel with oil on it, and just coat the pan.
Surely can.
I know a lot of people don't have the spray at home.
Yeah.
They have that oil.
The vegetable
you can
oil.
put bacon grease on there too.
You
but it
absolutely
don't make
can.
it vegetarian.
It doesn't.
But
But you can.
yeah, you can.
I know a chef that actually uses bacon grease on everything, and she actually that's like her thing. So yeah.
I'm talking to you, the one with the bowl of oil or grease, or the pot that's still on the stove with bacon stuff with bacon juices
Yeah,
in
use
it.
that.
Yeah, you can use that.
Yeah, use that. That is, it's not old. It's not
You're
bad.
keeping it for a reason, so utilize it.
Yeah, don't just leave it there. Right. So put it in nice and good.
Because I'm assuming if you got bacon grease saved, you're not a vegetarian.
No. All right, and we're going to put that in the oven.
Look at this, guys. I have a heart for cooking.
Oh.
Look at that. Looks nice, sweet. Oh my goodness. Look at the specks in there. The specks are beautiful in there. Look like it's going to be delicious. So I'm going to give it back to her and let her finish up.
So there's a couple things that I like to do at the top, and the reason why I only had you use like a little teeny bit of it is we're going to add it, make it even look even better.
Okay.
Chef, we're going to make it better.
Okay.
So
we're going to put some nuts on
what
there
I
on
like
top.
to do is put the nuts on the top, right? Just a little bit, just a sprinkle on top, because when it actually grows, you'll see them better at the top to know that there's nuts in it.
Okay.
Right, so just a little sprinkle, and then there you go. That goes inside the oven. Well, remember now we did use the orange zest, so it's going to have all that orange flavor inside of it with the zucchini and the cinnamon, and I'm looking forward to this.
All the good stuff. So did you put this on a sheet tray or did you put it in the oven like this?
You put it in the oven just like this, but I would recommend putting it on this sheet tray.
Okay. Okay, so let's do
And another thing I did bring, but I didn't put it in this one because we used the orange instead, is I had some chocolate chips. And I'd say with this type of
chocolate.
Yeah, chocolate makes everything better. With something like this, you can really put a lot of different ingredients inside this bread, right? So whatever you kind of have inside of your cupboard that you're like, oh, wow, I could add this or I could add this flavor.
Gotcha.
Experiment, and see what works.
Okay, so what we're going to do, you're going to throw that in the oven.
Throw that in the oven?
And as she throws that in the oven,
I have another one. Oh, I'm gonna get my handy dandy rag. Put it on my fingers. There we go. All right, and I have one that was already done. Oh my goodness, you guys.
so what we're going to do, that looks really good, but we will check that out once we come back from another break. See you in a minute.
Perfect.
Everyday Cafe is a coffee shop with a cause. Created by Bible Center Church as a place for our neighbors to connect and enjoy great coffee, and made to order breakfast and lunch. Our goal is to provide a beautiful and peaceful space in our community to celebrate art and culture, create jobs, and encourage the growth of the Homewood Avenue Business District. From grabbing a cup of coffee in the morning to providing pastries or boxed lunches for meetings or parties, we want Everyday Cafe to be your everyday cafe.
Welcome back to Out the Box, everybody. We are here with Tokey Treats. We are finishing up about the plate. 2 great menu items that she has made for us today. We have a cucumber,
Zucchini and walnut bread or mixed
she
nut
said.
bread.
and also a vegetarian soup. I'm gonna let her take over and let her do her thing. slicing the bread so I can get my food on, and presenting the soup for us. So
All right.
do your thing.
So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our bread, and I am going to do a couple nice
Don't
little
cut my
slices.
heart. Please don't cut my heart.
So sorry.
Ah.
Okay, let's get rid of this piece. Let's do that. Actually,
Wants to get rid of something.
I want to get rid of this because I want a piece. It looks so good.
Uh-oh. Oh, buddy.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, listen to that
You hear the
crunchy top,
crunch?
you guys. Look at that. That looks beautiful. Oh my God, you guys, that looks amazing. We're gonna do 3 pieces on here. We want everybody to have a taste of it. Oh, look at that crunch is amazing. You guys are gonna be so happy with this taste. I'm so excited.
I think it is awesome when people get excited about their own
Love
food.
it. Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that. Tell me that isn't the
that
most
is
beautiful.
beautiful.
And you know all that needs, and it's really simple to make, is like a nice icing glaze to go over top of that. That is amazing, you guys.
You know
amazing.
what? I'm gonna leave that there, and I'm gonna cut me a piece myself, if you don't mind. This is something to nibble on until she presents her soup.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So
Tell me.
I'm gonna get a little piece of that.
If it's
Move that to the
amazing.
side.
All right. Now the
She's
soup.
going, then she's gonna present her soup.
All right, so
Meanwhile,
the soup has been sitting on the stove, just simmering in all of its flavors. As you see here, nice and orange color, and it's nice and chunky too. So we're gonna go ahead and ladle that in there.
for this to be vegetarian, this is pretty darn good.
All right, and we're gonna add that spoon there. And we have that amazing orange color soup with that red, and it's chunky and vegetable. It's amazing.
So, this is good.
So you like it?
I know you all be wondering if I like stuff or not, because it takes me so long to say something. But that's because I'm enjoying the flavors. I'm getting all the dynamics of the food in my mouth, on my tongue. But I like this.
And keep in mind, there's no egg in that. There's no egg.
No egg. This is a beautiful thing.
No egg. There's no dairy in that.
So, 1 for 1.
Okay.
On to the soup.
I'm excited about the soup.
Has a nice, rich flavor. I mean, color to it. Smells wonderful.
How does it pair together with the sweet
Oh,
and
my
then
God.
that soup?
No,
Guys,
that's good.
if you like
I'm
it.
enjoying both of these things. Being a carnivore myself, I love my meats and my potatoes, but to be presented with something as flavorful and all vegetarian, this is great.
Awesome.
Can't complain about it. Definitely something I'm gonna sit here and eat while you guys at home slobber on yourself, because this stuff looks so good. Just gonna let you know it tastes good too.
And all with just a couple items in the box. That's it. And then, a couple pantry items.
Another episode in the box. We are pleased and impressed with Tokey at Tokey Treats.
Yay.
Is there anything that you want to say to our guests at home?
Yes, I want to say be adventurous with food. Learn how to create different things. This is just one small dish two small dishes that we created, but you can make so many things with items that are in that box. So explore, have fun.
You guys got to try to make this at the crib. I mean, really. I'm enjoying it.
Love it.
I'm gonna finish enjoying it. So with that being said, thank you for coming out and enjoying our show. We will be back with another episode. Keeping it with the ladies, hopefully. And on that note, so long.
Bye. Thank you.
We want to thank our produce sponsors. The American Heart Association has provided produce boxes throughout Allegheny County through their Eat Your Healthy Heart Out campaign. The produce in the boxes and used by the out-of-the-box chefs come from Monteverde's Produce. We appreciate the commitment of these partners to keeping our communities healthy by providing delicious produce.